Welcome back, and thanks for tuning in. We have us another wheel cleaner showdown. This is Mother's Polishes aluminum wheel cleaner. You can use this for most wheels of some kind. We got an Audi here that's definitely got aluminum wheels, and they are really neglected. So I thought this would be a good test subject to check this. And Adams, the favorite from the last time I did one of these, to see the differences between the two, see who might be better, who's worse, whatever the case may be. Mothers, they've been around for a long time, and it says you can use this on ready clean uncoated polished aluminum anodized wheels, gentle and effective. So you can use this also on painted, clear-coated, color-coated steel, modular, chrome, custom or factory-coated wheels and hubcaps. So most wheels are going to do well with this. So this you spray on a dry surface, and you let it dwell, and then so we'll let it dwell for like a minute, and hose it off, and then we'll do the same thing with the Adams on the other wheel. Anybody that knows about detailing, these German cars are famous for their brakes producing a lot of dust on their wheels. And I have cleaned this car before, but it's probably been 4 months ago that was cleaned. So you can see it work. This apparently does not have the iron remover in it. I'm not seeing it. Didn't have very good smell to it. I gave it a sniff, but it doesn't smell as foul as like the Adams and the Armor Detail Supply wheel cleaners that I've done other videos on. And just like many of the other ones, it says spray on and then rinse off and they'll be clean. Which that's I don't think possible really with wheel cleaners. Although closest one I've seen to that is when I tested on prior videos, Vivash. Their wheel cleaner actually took off most of the brake dust. I was quite surprised with how well it cleaned for not being a big name brand wheel cleaner. So I just want to give these barrels a little reinforcement because they're pretty filthy. So we'll give this a hose out when enough time's gone by, and then we'll see how much dirt comes off, how much dirt runs out. Then we'll check the other wheel with the Adams and do this comparison, because I'm quite sure these are going to have to be agitated. If you look at the inside of the barrels, quite dirty. So for us to take a chunk of the brake dust off, I will be highly impressed. Okay, so let's grab our handy dandy spray trigger here. And let's give it a rinse. And you can see the dirt is coming off the wheel. I am impressed with that part. And it looks like, it did put a dent in the wheel faces, the brake dust that's on there. Can't say it did a lot for the brake dust on the barrel of the wheel. So, but it did have an effect, and there's no doubt. We saw the dirt and dust rolling out of the car. So we'll go with the other wheel, and we'll give another wheel and give the Adams a try, see what it does. So stay tuned. All right, here we are on the other front wheel on this Audi. If you look closely, these wheels are pretty rough. Lots of brake dust baked on. This car is driven by a female, and most women are not into detailing their cars and keeping them nice and all that. Now, the Adams says on the label that you're supposed to start with a wet wheel. So I'm going to give it a spray, and we'll squirt it on and see how much of the dirt and stuff that this takes off. But you can see just by rinsing it, so much of the dirt comes off just from rinsing. So just taking water will knock some of the brake dust off. I guess the brake dust is so thick. Like I said, this has probably not been cleaned in 4 months. This is 4 months of buildup. And this is, like on the prior video, this is the Adams' newest version of the wheel cleaner. So it is thicker than the original wheel cleaner, and tends to stay more where you want it. Although that shine armor, it's one of the good properties about that one. Although I don't think it's quite as strong, but it has a little bit more of a gel consistency, and it stays where you put it. So I did appreciate that about the shine armor. So We're watching it set up here. Actually, I'm gonna get the wheel barrels a little bit better. This thing is pretty rough. We can see purple is happening, so clearly the Mothers does not have the iron removing ingredients in it. And just like any other wheel cleaner, you don't want to let this dry on the vehicle. But we can see all the purple that's coming out, so clearly this is having an effect on it. And just like on the other video I did, we did front wheels because that way we can go apples to apples. All the back wheels on this car are not very clean at all either, but the front wheels do most of the work with the braking. So I'm just trying to go apples to apples in the comparison here. As we can see, things are turning very purple. So lots of iron coming out. And we will give it, well, maybe about 30 seconds or so more, then we will give it a hose off and see what all comes off of this. But yeah, things are getting very purple here. All right, here we go. You see all the purple coming out of the wheel. It's all the iron that it had binded to. Okay, so as far as the wheel faces, I think it did take off better than the Mothers, but not way better. One thing I do see a difference with this versus the Mothers is the barrels. These barrels are still going to have to be scrubbed, but the Mothers didn't really seem to put too much of a dent into the brake dust inside the barrels. So I will give the Adams a win for that. Mothers gets a win for the smell factor. Doesn't smell as bad. They're both pretty similar in the consistency, but the Adams does seem to do a better initial cleaning. All right, so now we're going to scrub the Mother's side with a brush. I did spray some more Mother's wheel cleaner onto the brush and take our Cobra wheel cleaner brush. This thing is pretty darn cool. This is from Auto Geek. And we'll see with brushing who does a better job. One thing I'm appreciating about these Audi wheels is the calipers don't take up most of the room, so it's easier for me to get the brush into. My Mustang, my truck, have a hard time allowing that. We get our Adams wheel face brush out. Looks like we have a stubborn spot over here. Got a wheel cleaner mitt thingy. I think it came from Auto Fiber through glove box. So hit it with that. Okay. So let's give it a spray. See what we got. All right, so agitating and did knock down the wheel dust on the inside of the barrel quite a bit, but that's still in there. So I don't know if this Mother's is strong enough to take care of the rest of it. If it needs something stronger, I might hit it with the Adams too. Actually, let's do that. We'll hit it with the Adams here and see if introducing the Adams helps get those barrels cleaner. Getting our brush out, just letting this, letting the product dwell. You see purple stuff coming out that the mothers didn't get. And I'm using the same brush, clean it the same way I did with the mothers. You see all the purple coming out from the spokes here where I'm going at it. All right, so look at all the purple and more dirt coming out. And the Adams actually knocked out quite a bit more of the brake dust. I don't know if repeated applications will get this back to where they look clean all the way, or if, to save time, if if I was a pro detailer, I might would have a stronger wheel cleaner, one of the acid-based ones, to cut through that quickly. But it seems like the Adams has more cleaning power. So as far as this test goes, I'm gonna say to conclude it, I'm gonna say the Mothers is probably great for maintenance washes, but the Adams is better for deep cleaning. So thanks again for watching. We'll see you on the next video.